What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we have Ursartic going up against Memento. So actually, Nathan has been playing Ursartic for a very long time. So shouts to him for playing the deck. If you guys haven't seen the deck can actually do quite a lot. It has a draw 7 built into one card. They're going to be winning the die roll here, choosing to go first. And they're going to summon out a copy of Castor Unicorn. They're going to then activate the effect, searching for a copy of the Birth. And it's going to let them have numerous, copies of the tribute, essentially, and then Birth being able to bring it back out. We're going to see one of the Ursartics tributing off the one that's like a spell and trap negate. Then we can activate the new card here, the Ursartic Drytron or whatever it's called. This one lets us actually search the deck for any copy of a Ursartic or a Drytron card, going for that +7 card here, which we then activate. It puts 7 counters on it, and then every time we synchro summon from the extra deck or special summon a Ursartic from the hand, it just removes 1 counter and then draw 1 card. So we're going to go for the Polar Star here, which is very cool. Getting able to search for the field spell, which is going to be acting as a snatch deal. So if you guys don't know very much about the deck, it is just essentially going to be reverse synchro summoning using its levels, and they're all big monsters. And there's a lot of stuff that it can do, like you can be able to search cards, you can be able to draw cards, and then it has like some random effects. So they have like a DD Crow, a Book of Moon, a MST, and then being able to pair it up with the synchro monsters that they have. When you use it with Polar Star, it essentially makes it so that the extra deck monsters cannot activate the effects as long as they have a level, and then the other one makes it so they can't activate the effects if they don't have a level. So essentially just locking everybody out. And if they go uninterrupted, they actually end on quite a huge board here. So you're tributing off the Unicorn, summon out the copy of whatever one that activates here. They're going to activate the effect of the one that's a tuner. Then they're going to be sending the copy of Saravis, because Saravis is actually used in the deck because if you do want to hit the deck, you want to hit the copy of Polar Star, and they can dodge it with this copy of Saravis. So we're going to go for the new Polar Star guy. This is going to be the one that makes it so they can't activate the non-level effects here. And they're going to go up into a copy of one of their synchros. I believe this one pops the stuff. Then we're going to activate the effect to let us summon out another one here, going for the one that makes it so now we can't activate any monster effects from the extra deck, essentially at all, with no levels or with levels. Very important to note. We're then going to activate the effect of another one here to tribute off the nib and then draw an additional card. And they just drew, I believe it's like 5 cards so far. Then they're going to activate the effect of the Ursartic Revelations, I believe. It sends 1 to be able to search for 2. Very nice, kind of like a trade-in sorts of stuff, or more like the Dragon Lord, whatever. And so we see a bunch of going second cards in the deck because it does struggle going second. We have those copies of Sphere Mode alongside the Nibiru. We definitely don't want to leave them with any bodies. They're going to go for the Birth, which can then bring back out the copy of Unicorn, and then they put back 1 counter. So they have a Snatch Steal, a Unicorn. I can't activate any monster effects from the extra deck, which is quite a powerful lock if you guys know any of the cards here. Memento using Link monsters as well as Fusion monsters. Not be able to use your Twin Dragons or your copy of the Combined Creation is going to be kind of brutal. We also see Nibiru in their hand, so we kind of have to play through that as well. Now, they're not going to be wanting to Nibiru their whole hand because of the fact that, they're not going to be Nibiru their whole board because, it's going to be quite impactful for them. But we just scoop it up, realizing that we do not have enough to deal with all that. We also have 2 more Ursartics in the hand, which can trigger, drawing them in another card. We see them not playing any of those hand traps like Ash Blossom, stuff like that. Now, I do know from previous experiences that he is siding Ash Blossoms. But I just scoop it up and, making it so that my opponent doesn't exactly know what I'm playing. But yeah, Nathan's been causing a rampage with this Ursartic deck, especially versus me for almost the past month now. We played at the regionals. He smoked me then. I was playing Branded, and he won the die roll. He drew a whole bunch of cards. I wasn't able to break the board. Not being able to touch my extra deck is kind of impactful for me. Then game 2, he opened up Ash Blossom, and that was it. That was the end of my my regionals. And then I believe the following week, I was testing out a different deck. I forget what deck exactly it was. It wasn't playing any hand traps. And once again, he won the die roll. And the same thing occurred. I was just locked on my extra deck. And now I am playing hand traps. But I'm just not being able to see any of them in these hands. But we're going to be diving on to game 2 here with us going first. And now I don't believe he knows exactly what we're playing. So it's going to be kind of difficult for them to choose note the side into, but we're going to start off with a copy of Bone Party, and they're going to take a second to pick it up and read the card. Definitely needing to read this card. Now, if you're starting off with Bone Party, it most likely means your hand's not that great. Or, for example, you got hit with a Mulch Army per Aurelia. We're going to start destroying the Horned Dragon here. And we're going to summon a copy of the Witch. So having a brick in the hand, something else I think is interesting about the Memento deck. A lot of the cards are bricks. We do have 9 starters, which is quite nice, and like 2 extender pieces. But you do have many, many bricks in your deck. The Horned Dragon, the Mace, the Goblin. Now, Goblin is a combo on itself, and Mace is also a good one to play with. But a lot of the times, like those hands will lose to one hand trap, which a lot of decks do play. We're in a heavy hand trap format. But they are going to be reading the copy of Tatsunoko. This card's absolutely crazy. When you read this card, you're like, what? One guy at Locals thought I could send 5 monsters. I was like, no, it has to do with the level. But could you imagine just instantly sending enough so you can summon out the copy of the Combined Creation? And then here he asks about if we control, if it's face down. Because one of the Ursartic cards, flip them face down. But it says if you don't control any face up monsters other than Memento monsters. So he's going to be able to summon out the Tatsunoko here. And then he's going to activate the effect, sending to search. And then we're activating the effect to Book of Moon the Tatsunoko, which is important here. And we're just going to set 2 cards and passing on that. And that's just going to be it for us. Here we're going to flip up Anti-Spell in the draw phase. Something I want to mention is I've been seeing Anti-Spell in this deck consistently. Every time I play this card, going second or going first, game 2 is in my hand every single time. I don't understand why. I wish I could have this luck with anything else, but unfortunately just not seeming to have that. Anti-Spell is kind of good, and it's not even the fact that Anti-Spell is good and wins me the game. But the problem is that I never have a good board. I get like hand trapped, and then I just end on Anti-Spell, and it's like, oh no. And then I've never had access to the Fusion Spell, and like the Fusion Spell hurts so much. But I don't know if you guys have any like way to find a way to deal with that. If I can like maybe don't play Anti-Spell, maybe play like a Tikaboo or something like that instead. But they are going to activate the Polar Star, and we do imperm this. I do believe this is the best choice because we do want to be able to stop the search of the field spell here. And we see 2 spells in the hand and then a monster, which is the ball. So we're going to flip up the copy of Tatsunoko. We're going to activate the effects and then the copy of Sleepy, Goblin, and Mace. And then we can actually activate the Witch effect here to bring out the copy of Mace if we want to. And we have the Gatic in the hand as well to add back the Sleepy. So, this is going to be a nice combo, especially post turn 1. We're then able to activate the effect of the Witch, destroying the Gatic to summon out the Mace. Gatic can then summon itself out because it's sent to the graveyard. From a Memento monster effect here, Mace can then trigger if we want. But we don't really have anything necessarily to search. Because we can't really search for the field spell here. Or not the field spell, the fusion spell. So we're going to search for the big guy here. Then we're going to link up into the Cross Sheep. We're going to activate the Sheep. The Sheep can then activate its effects to fuse using our hand and field. This is going to give us access to the Fusion monster, which can then go up into Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon can then activate the effect as well as the copy of the Sheep, summoning out the copy of... And we could go for the Sleep. Sleep then gets destroyed by the Twin Dragon. and letting us search for 2 cards. Then we have Horn Dragon in the graveyard, so we search for the copy of Touche as well as the Dark Blade, and then Sleepy is going to be destroying the copy of the Fusion. Something that's interesting about quick play fusion spell is that unfortunately it's not quick effect in the graveyard during your opponent's turn, which I think is really interesting. You know, trap cards are always going to be a quick effect during your opponent's turn in the graveyard or on the field, but for some reason the quick play spells are not, and that's only just because Konami said so. So we're going to be putting back 5 the Sun with the Combined Creation, and this is going to be is this going to be just game on board is the question. Bring a battle phase attack into the Polar Star. Then we're going to attack with that here. And then we're going to set 1. Banish to destroy the twin. Which I somehow, I guess, is kind of playing around the copy of... We're going to search for the Fusion. Then we're going to summon up the copy of Sleepy. And did we just go up into a copy of SP here? I feel like we do. We did see the ball, right? Yeah, we did see them have it the last turn. Okay. So we're going to go for an SP, and then SP is going to be banishing the MST one. And we just pass turn here. And I believe they draw into another copy of... They do draw into another copy of Raw's Ball. Getting cucked by the balls here, and they just scoop it up. Realizing that they should have set the back row. The thing with that is that we would have started popping and banishing it if they would have had it. You know, I believe Horn Dragon just pops any card on the field, not any face-up cards. So that would have been a good option for us to be able to pop. Face-up cards, okay. So we wouldn't be able to pop that, but still, which can actually, it could pop Anti-Spell there, which is pretty interesting, which would have gave us access to an OTK line as well. So we maybe should have put that back into the deck and then found the way to summon it back out there, which would have been pretty nice. But moving on to Game 3, we're going to be seeing Memento having to be forced to go second. And this deck is quite good going first if you don't open up any of the bricks, but like... That's the thing I was talking about. Like, you have one, like, Goblin is a brick, essentially. The Field Spell is a brick. Sleepy and Mace are kind of bricks. Horn Dragon's a brick. Gothic is a brick. Combined Creation is a brick. Cranium Burst is a brick. Like, no, I am on 2 Maces, so I suppose that I am playing a little bit more bricks than other people, and, like, I know some people are now siding the traps in, which I think is definitely incorrect. I think that you need to play the trap in the main deck. It's kind of the only reason why you're playing. You know, making a 5-mat Appaloosa is kind of crazy. But, like, when you think about it, like, yes, Mentolian City is not that much of a brick. It's a soft brick, but it's still a brick. Goblin is not a brick because it is a 1-card starter. Mace is a brick on itself. You know, you can destroy... I guess you can have Tat, so I guess it's not really a brick. But then you have, like, Sleep, which is a brick. The Trap, that's a brick. The Combined Creation's at a brick. The Gothic. So you have, like, 6 bricks in the deck already, which is, like, kind of bad. And those cards, and then you have, like... So you have, like, your 9 1-card starters. And then you also have 9 bricks or cards that lose to 1 hand trap, which is definitely not the best. But we do see a Unicorn being put on the note here, then activating the effect, being able to search for the spell. And we do see a Nib and a Cerberus in the hand as well as one other Ursartic monster, or 2 here. We're going to see one Ursartic sending the other one. This is going to be the MST to summon itself out. And they can just go up into a copy of the Polar Star. You know, that's a really cool synergy with those copies of the Cashier monsters, so that they are just 1 level away, which gives them access to that Ursartic. We do have the Imperm for that Polar Star, but they do have the copy of Sirius to protect them from that. It's going to give them access to the field spell, which now they have a lot that they can do. You know, it's important to note that the field spell, like, the access to the field spell doesn't just give them a snatch deal. It also lets them use once per turn an additional tribute by banishing a card in their graveyard, which is really important because, they do burn a lot of cards by having like tribute one other card there. So like they're gonna activate the Cashier Birth Bring Out. So now they only have one card left in the hand, and then they're gonna activate the effect, the summon with the copy of the MST. And let's let them search for. Or that's not the MST, my bad. The MST is the white one with the big bottom flare. Searching for the Drytron Nova one. Ursartic Drytron, which have lore apparently. I wonder if anyone has like tried to play them against each other and see which deck just smokes the other. We're going to be able to search here for the spell. Let's draw 7 cards. And like this is what I mean. You have a draw 7 cards. Like this is a Professor Oak type effect. Now it is locked into an Ursartic deck, which isn't that going to be that good. But the deck does burn through a lot of cards in their hand. Therefore, you have to kind of be able to add back cards or draw cards from the deck to be able to get the right amount of consistency. Now they're going to activate the effect of the trading essentially because they realize they don't have any tuners, so they search for the other one instead. Instead of they draw 7, they search for this, which is fine. It's just all locals. It's not like we're at like a YCS, so it's fine. You want good testing as well as like a good duel to watch in the video. You don't want them to be like, oh yeah, I screwed up my combo, I'll set the pass turn. That's definitely not what we were looking for. But now they're going to summon out the one with the big bottoms here. And they are still not able to make that nice of a board. The board's going to still be good, but it might be breakable. We saw game 1, that board was not breakable. We're going to go up into a copy of Shen Chen, which is really good against the Memento deck. Shifter as well as Shen Chen just kind of be crazy versus us. But they're going to just pass turn on this, which is not going to be the best. They will have a Snatch Deal available at some time if they do find a way to control a Ursartic Synchro. But we're going to start off with a copy of the Angel Witch. Angel Witch will be able to activate. We have a starter here. We don't have any other hand trap, it looks like, or else we would have dropped it down. If we had an Imperm or a Dark Ruler, we're going to stop that Shen Chen because the Shen Chen is going to be quite detrimental to us. It almost looks like we were searching for a copy of Gatic there, which definitely is not the play. Searching for a copy of Horned Dragon. Now, Horned Dragon, it doesn't activate when it's triggered, right? On the field by a card effect. So we do have the Tachinoko here, okay. So if I understand this correctly, we're going to be activating the effect of Tachinoko, sending 3 cards from the extra deck. If sending cards from the deck, so we can have access to the Horned Dragon. And we don't want to send the Sleepy and the Gatic here. So we're going to send Mace, Goblin, and I guess we can send a copy of Sleepy. We just have to have 3 bodies left in the... Okay, so we're sending the Sleepy here. So now we have the access to the Horned Dragon line where we can special summon it out. I'm going to assume that Witch is going to try to destroy the Horned Dragon to summon out the copy of Mace, which then is going to be able to destroy the copy of Shen Chen alongside another card on their field. I should know, this is me playing, by the way. But we're going to be seeing the Horned Dragon be summoned out here. And this is definitely what I was thinking of doing, because I need to get rid of that copy of Shen Chen so I have access to my monsters so they don't get banished. Now, I'm going to lose the access to Horned Dragon, but the new Memento card, the level 5 water one that is not released yet and coming out in Rage of the Abyss, will actually help us play through a board like this, where we know it can add back a card from the banished or the graveyard when it's destroyed. So, pretty cool we see that happening here. We're going to be seeing the Mace being summoned, and then we're going to be activating the effect of the Horned Dragon, destroying the Angel Witch, most likely the Shen Chen, alongside a copy of either the Birth or one of the Drytron cards. We're asking about the field spell, because we want to make sure that it is only while they control a Ursartic Synchro. We just destroy one of the monster on the field, and we do wonder if it goes to the graveyard or the banished zone. And I do believe it goes to the graveyard. So we have one more in the graveyard. We can activate the Mace effect, destroying itself. But we have the Sleepy in the hand for an extender. But this is what I mean, like when you have like a brick, but also an extender. Like this is going to be crazy. So let's actually special summon out if we want to. Using itself and the Mace to go up into the Twin Dragon here. Twin Dragon can then activate the effect, destroying itself to be able to search for this fusion spell here. Then it's going to be able to summon back out the copy of the Sleepy or the Mace if we need to be. If we need it, I guess. But we're going to search for a copy of the Combined Creation alongside the Dark Blade here. Now, Dark Blade is going to be the name that we do not have in the graveyard, alongside the fact of that if we do need to put it back for a name, we can in the hand. And then also, it is a 1-card starter for the next turn here. So we're going to see Twin Dragon summon with the copy of Mace. Mace will then activate the effect, destroying itself, to search for a copy of the Fusion spell here. We then can activate the Fusion spell, putting back the copy of Mace, the Sleepy, and a copy of the Goblin there. We have double copies of Sleepy, so we can definitely need to put that one back. And the other two don't really matter. If you're only playing one Mace, it'd be more important for you to put back that copy of Mace, which we might be siding into. We might be siding one out, therefore the Mace is important. And then we're going to send a copy of Gatic, Mace, and then the copy of the Fusion. Then we're going to see Mace effects being able to summon it back out here. And they do have a copy of DD Crow to be able to essentially stop that there. But they're going to have to get rid of a different card. So they're going to get rid of the copy of the Fusion spell so we can't destroy it. Then we're going to be seeing the effect of the Gatic add back the copy of the Sleepy. We already have actually used the effect of Sleepy in the hand. Therefore, we can't summon it out that way. But we are going to be banishing the Big Fusion to be able to search for the field spell. We then activate the field spell here, and there's not going to be that much for us to be able to pop to get that kind of effect to go off. But we are going to go effective Fusion to pop our 2 monsters, to pop their 2 monsters. Then we're going to activate the effect of the field spell here to be able to bring back out. So we can bring back out the Twin Dragon. Then we do have the Combined Creation to put back all 5 to summon out. And we have the Cranium Burst in the hand, so we just attack for some damage here and leave them on 200, and we flip up the trap, being a monster negate for everything, and they just admit defeat here. We also have an Ogre in the hand to be able to stop that copy of Birth. I have the Ogre sided in for Tempai, but it actually pairs well with a draw 7, which is pretty nuts. Being able to let them have 0 draws off a card that says draw 7 cards is quite insane. But we do see Memento taking the win here over Ursartic. If you want to see more Memento stuff, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm still learning the deck. I do think the deck is quite good. I might be smashing the Fiendsmith stuff in it once I do get that. We do have our regionals coming up this Saturday, so stay tuned if you want to be seeing that. Let me know in the comment section down below what deck you guys want me to take to regionals. And stay safe. Peace.